Now arriving at Lijiang.
I will
Ready for
protect
battle.
the innocent. System check initiated. Green across the board. I'm ready for action.
Round one. Capture the objective.
Okay. Let's find the Tofat. Alright, so you have established that they are running a bunker comp. So, I like it. You started spamming the shield. That's great. So you aren't quite sure if they have like a widow or anything like that. I think is why you are jumping down here. Because yeah, okay, yeah, you don't know what they have, so you're kind of playing it safe here. That's fine. But yeah, beaten shield. That's target priority is directly in front of you. All right, so you've seen they have a Doom Fist. You see they have a Baptiste. You see they have a Roadhog. You see they have a Orisa, and I don't know if you have seen their Zen or not, but yeah, you are aware they are bunker. So you shouldn't be pushing forward so much right now, as you should just be trying to keep your altitude and ride like the threshold of this map, like use its geometry, these walls here. I would just be trying to be like a pendulum that kind of hangs out above the fight and swings into like flank positionings. Like you should kind of be the cavalry in a fight, you know, you should be getting out and setting up crossfires. So like you're kind of in fight, okay, here you see their bunker, fight is beginning, so they just put a shield down right on that corner, so they're going to try to fight and then come to point. So right now, I would just punish them for that, and you should be up in the air trying to just like be above or behind the shield and just hitting spam damage. Like, the great thing about going against a bunker as Pharah is you just get essentially free ults if you play it right. Like, you should just be taking advantage of. So yeah, perfect, you gained altitude. Reload. So right here, like, you should just be salivating. So you get a better look at their team. Now you know they have the Zen. So you should be well aware of what you're going against, which is they don't have a counter to you. So you should just be like stoked. So you're in a great position. You're freshly reloaded. You fired one rocket, and let's see if you just feast on this or not. Oh no! What? Okay, so you try to boop. It's kind of late, but you tried to theoretically boop the Doomfist. Okay, so but remember, you were just salivating, right? Look at this. Look at all this damage for you to be doing. Okay, so you turned your head away. So there's 10 seconds till the point unlocks, and you have 10 seconds. You're doing damage. You go chase. You're chasing. You're like, oh, I want to go kill this Doom. You're chasing. You hit the Doom one time. Okay, you hit a Wrecking Ball. So you got 3 shots in 10 seconds. Right? You could have been just in those same 10 seconds, starting now, you could have your ultimate instantly, and then like as the actual fight on point for first cap is underway, you would have Barrage just at your disposal. But instead, you allowed your focus to be taken off of the team fight and your objective, and you chased. So you traded like, I mean, I'm gonna safely say you gave away like 50% of free ult charge. Or not free, but you know. Just being hyper critical though, because you don't. So yeah, you hit the Doom, he almost dies, he gets healed up though. Oh no, he gets killed because his receiver's, am I seeing things? Okay, so yeah, I mean, the first point was pretty much over as soon as, like, you allowed them to rotate for free. So what happened is, aside from just, like, the straight up fact of you not, like, just insta charging a barrage here, is if you just remain right where you are, right here at this, with 10 seconds left before the point unlocks, if you just shit on their entire team and are just constantly berating them with damage over and over and over again, rockets to the back of these fat ass tanks, like you are just going to draw out so much of their abilities just to keep their tanks up that both of their healers aren't going to be able to do anything else. So that Doomfist and that Wrecking Ball are on their own. It's like, so right now, it would have been, if you just hung out here, like Clarity, this Reaper here, where's my mouse? I don't have the pointer right now for some reason. So Clarity here, he is drawing the aggro of the Roadhog. The Orisa can't do anything else. She's trying to win. She's trying to just do the Orisa thing and supply shield break and put out damage forward where she's going to try to set up her next shield. So you are just being given free damage here. There's no aggro your direction at all. Like safe damage. This is like what it's all about. This is what Ding excels at, is he just hung out tonight in that finals game and he just safely chilled like right on the precipice of being like, you know, in safe position or dangerous position, but just like bobbing right there. I'm just gonna take all this free damage, and then as soon as you start to make your move, it opens up a huge flank opportunity for me without even having to move. And so like just against an Orisa Roadhog, like you just have to stay out of that hook area, and unless you know he's already used it. But just take the free damage. Like you right now have hardcore, hardcore positional dominance. Like you have the the strength of the map to you right now. Like you're playing as if we have the point, which at this very moment we do essentially. Like it's not unlocked yet, but like their tanks are trying to come in and you already have positional superiority. So you know that they have to make their rotation to point. There's 10 seconds though. So what you should just do is just take this free damage. Like literally you could just hang out right where you are with a few like bobs and weaves, you know, strafe a little bit. But like you could just rotate around while staying in the exact same position and just continue to do some relatively safe spam damage as they have to make their long rotation to point right now. So like just pay attention to the Orisa shield, and when it goes down, just try to get yourself above and to the side of it, and then just like constantly just be like like swinging yourself back and forth like a pendulum. Um, but instead you ended up chasing the Doomfist, and so so you have positional superiority here, and because you do, we do. Um, and so just just take it. Just take the free ultimate that they're serving you on a platter here by doing less, essentially. Like you instead try to like chase and then clutch out a Doomfist when like the point's not unlocked. So like there's no reason to have to deal with the point here. Like you should just be pelting them. But you chased, and in doing so, you lost your positional dominance over them, and they rotated and then had a fresh shield and a whole team coming to point where you were just chilling. And so yeah, this first fight like is I think one of the only times in this like replay that like you kind of fucked up. The rest of it you like dominate and go unchecked, and we just are able to steamroll. But this first fight, it's like if you just chilled right here and just did like a ton of damage during the rotation, somebody's gonna die. Like at some point, you and the Reaper are you're gonna be able to kill one of those supports or one of these tanks. Worst case scenario, honestly, like during the first actual fight on point, once after this 10 seconds, you would have your barrage to just like, do the dirty.
Clearing the area.
Now they're all here and they're playing the Orisa game. See, they're still slow playing it. Like you're doing good damage, but it's too late because we've already lost some key figures. Okay. So you come back the flank route, which is great. This is like things I want you to be doing all the time. Like you should be like always like the fight our team. So like what Ding is amazing at that I noticed today is so just like right where you're at right now. So like the fight is going on. The Orisa shield is here. It's a very definitive, like the Orisa isn't like the Ryan can't like move his shield, so or her shield. So like they have set the fight with that shield. So you see that. So what you should be thinking right now is how can I get over onto this platform? Go over to that health pack, and then eventually around. But like you should try to fly your way, in safe positions. But at this very moment, much like that first fight, fresh shield. You are extremely safe where you are, unless like multiple people on their team. See, they have a McCree now. Never mind. But I was gonna say, unless multiple people like headshot you, you're pretty safe. And if you rotate, so like just swing out like a pendulum, you could be doing shield damage, which is all you're going to do right here unless somebody peeks like an idiot. So like what you would be bringing to this scenario right here is just straight shield break at this moment. So what's the difference between where you're standing right now and a little bit to the right? Right? Because if you're a little to the right, then they can't do shit to you because you have your own fortification, a little wall there, and you can, I mean, their shield is poking out. You could literally just be shooting it right there if you wanted to be a dick. Like, just shield break while you're getting yourself in a good position. Remember, you are about to have your ultimate come online. Um, Although we lost the first fight, I don't think there's any reason to believe that the Zenyatta would have gotten his ultimate before you. Um, so if I were you, I would just be already trying to set this up, which is kind of what I thought you were going for here when you went around into the flank positioning. So like, team fight is coming here. Orisa's shield is here. We have a monkey in the back lines, but the Brig is pushing up here with Reaper. So the fight is going to go as the Orisa wants to. However, they're going to have to move here because they're going to have to deal with a Winston who's going to be coming on point here any minute now. So you should just be thinking, all right, I'm going to just provide shield break while trying to set up my ultimate. So you're providing shield break, but you kind of see, like, you're still in the same threat line that you were in. However, you used resources and time to somewhat retreat. So see what I'm saying is like if you're rotating right and using this pillar here as your wall, you could be doing the same exact thing, which is shield break, but be getting into more threatening positioning. But instead you kind of, so like the sight line that they have on you pretty much stays the exact same with what you do right here. However, you just gave up time and energy. If anything, you kind of opened up your angle, like, for them to shoot you even more. So, like, right now, you shouldn't be in the back line. Like, you should already be behind them trying to, like, quietly set your shit up. So we have successfully flipped the point. Whether they know it or not, this point is pretty much ours. They are going to have to hit a few kills. So I have slept their Roadhog. So he's taken a snooze. their Orisa shield was just broken, and they are backing up. So they just lost their McCree, which is your only threat. So right here, like, holy shit. Like, all you're thinking about is the Orisa shield. That's, like, the only thing that, like, is keeping you from getting a huge team wipe. So just be trying to set this thing up. So, like you're not where you should be, which is over here already, like I've discussed at nauseum. But see, you're now just playing extremely passively. Like, right now you're providing nothing to this fight, and you could otherwise, honestly, like, just, you wouldn't even need to use your ultimate. You could just be like just doing spam damage behind the Orisa. So like, Pharah is very good against the Orisa because her shield is set. So you can, like, especially on a map like this where you have all that open space, like almost 360 around the point, like, you should always be just hovering in that perfect, like, line of sight where you're just behind their shield, like just shooting behind their shield. So like right now you could just be like shitting on their behind their shield, and then like getting ready to just like unload with your Q. If you're playing really safe, now you're just breaking shield. They go supercharger, you go for a fat boop. So like again, I ultimately, like, being hypercritical, like, you absolutely should have tried, like, instead of going for the, like, Reddit Lucio boop, you could have used that boop to, like, recover. Again, like, you could have, even if you were, like, up in the air over in this corner where my cursor is, just shooting behind, like, you could have exploited and gotten like a boop if any of them were like on the edge, which I'm sure they were. Like, that would have been a super easy, effective boop. But you weren't in that position, so you went for like a Reddit Lucio boop here. I don't fault you for that, but again, I'm being hypercritical. But imagine if you would have used that boop right there and just booped yourself to where the Reaper is at this very moment, right? So you already have a Reaper who's drawing aggro. So, like, you could be behind him, using him as a human shield and the aggro draw. Like, you should be able to ride this wall out of the sight and just get yourself into a position to drop this thing. And that quick concussion, you could have been pop over there and then like a little hover, bada bing, bada boom. So you make the rotation, and we end up winning this fight and flipping this. But like that could have been way fatter, and you could have won that fight rather than like us, you know, slowly winning the fight. Obviously, I'm being extremely critical here and picky because, like, look, you're on fire, and we just won the fucking team fight, and we're chilling. We're gonna be having 2 huge, powerful ultimates as well as a nano to just kind of go around with. Like we just pretty much, I mean, I don't think we give up the point again. So we took it here, and you know, you're fucking on fire with the kills. But imagine
Double kill.
imagine if instead of being passive here, you just started swinging your fucking self into a more effective area just earlier, and then, like, you know, you're just back there, they have to deal with you. As soon as this McCree dies, like, you should just be doing everything you can to put yourself into a flank. Even before he dies, like, this is just way too passive of a position. Like, you could be providing the exact same shield break, just like from, you know, a more threatening position, and then ultimately, like, that ultimate right there, your barrage would have gotten, like, you know, pretty much all of them. But again, we win the fight, you're on fire. Hell yeah. Just good cleanup. Okay, so Hog is hooked. That is, again, like, your only threat, so they switched off the McCree to a Mei. You should know that. You probably check the tab. So, like, although you're being effective right now, like, you're being extremely lazy. And that's awesome to do. Like this is one of those positions where I'm saying like be on like so our team is set up here, we're holding this point. So like you should be kind of I would almost be kind of trying to hang out even more over here, like sitting if you're going to sit on one of these walls, I'd sit on that side because you have better scouting, nobody can really come out, and you could be providing the same shield break and spam damage that you're already doing. You would just have a more closed down angle. So that's why Pharah is like amazing because like you can send a rocket with spam damage in through like sick ass tightly woven angles and then shut them down like before they even splash. Um, so just try to like shut that down more. Like you're not being punished for it because again they switched off the thing that they switched to counter you. Um, so they already gave up on that. So like you're able to just kind of freely spam, but just like on that first fight, like your positioning from doing it just needs to be a bit more thought out. And like I would say, you always just want to be teasing the threat of a flank. Like in areas where you know that the fight is going to have to, like you know these maps, like they're either going to be take the map by going right or our right or our left. So they either have to go in through courtyard or cliffs or whatever you want to call it. Uh, and so if you just put yourself on this corner, you're just getting that same free damage, and then you get a like you could if they chase you cliffs, you can just hover rotate around to meet with your team all while doing damage to their entire team. Or you could just quickly hopscotch to where you are now and then you're with your team. But like just by being more threatening in your safe positioning and doing your free damage, I think you'd benefit a lot more from if not in just direct damage, more damage, but like just in the threat, like teams have to deal with you a bit more, um, and do like something stupid to get you. But again, free damage, they're not doing anything, so you're just sitting here. And then I think you're seeing that I'm taking damage, and I think you like maybe thought it was like a tracer or something, um, or that they were like closer to me, and you tried booping it, so I appreciate that. Um, but so right now, so you're kind of I'm sure we're like shit talking this fucking Rain Man ball here.
Clearing the area.
But so you go to save me with your concussion. Um, and that's fine. Um, but then here I sleep it. The call is made. You notice. So right now, you could be doing the same effect. You could even like go teabag or like do whatever, like say hey. But you could if you go behind them, like body block in a sense. I mean, this road dog's sleeping. So if you go and you put yourself standing back here, you could be shooting into their team, providing the same effect that you can provide anywhere. However, you can body block, like you know where this dude's going as soon as he wakes up. Roadhog or uh, Hammonds are always doing like figure eights in and out of the battle, and they're on their way on their routes to the megas. That's how like good Hammonds fucking do their thing. So you should know that, and like instead of just going down and again just like shutting like look at your field of vision right now. Like you can't kill this dude. He's sleeping. He's pretty topped off, but he's sleeping, and like you're not gonna wake him up. So like the same thing that you're doing right now, you could do turned around 180 from where you're standing right now and standing right here. Same embarrassment to that uh, wrecking ball. However, you are still open to the fight, and you are also in better position to take this huge resource not only for yourself but away from him. So like he can't one-shot you. So if I were you, I would just position yourself in there, deny him of the mega as well as just do damn it. Like the moment he wakes up, you could just be pelting into him and then back up into the mega. He doesn't get it, you got it. And see, your back is still turned to the fight. Like you should be a little worried here because like you have somebody in front of you, your back is facing the fight, you're on the ground, and the kill feed is red. It's just one character, but the kill feed is red. So I would try to not have my back to the fight, chasing a something you can't like one shot. So now the monkey's up there. That's dealt with. So I don't even think the monkey needed to dive that wrecking ball. So that sound that's going off now means they have somebody on the point, which I think it's a Mei. So like they're about to try to make their move to the point, and you are, for the last like ever since I slept this roadhog or fucking goddamn it, this wrecking ball, you've kind of just like been closed off to the rest of the fight and have just been trying to kill this this wrecking ball.
Walk it off.
So yeah, you should just be paying attention to the fight and like doing damage against their like actual, like you shouldn't be ever chasing a wrecking ball. That's not good Pharah usefulness. So and again like so we have the point here. We have superiority on the point here. So I don't think you needed to like fully make this like go straight into the fight. Like again, you should just be always trying to exploit, like be furthest away and just keeping the same sight lines, like just like hovering like a pendulum and swinging in and out. And anytime you have to like come down, try to like do it near your team. But so the fight is about to begin here. Again, wasted a lot of time and energy chasing that. And so you pushed some people away and you're going to where the fight is going, which I like. But what you should be doing is going through the point, or you know, going to our safe side. Like your Pharah, you should fly. So like you don't, by going into the like you should never be this close to a Mei if you can help it. So like right here, like Mei just died. So that's wonderful. Like you're on point, however, you don't need to be on point. Like you certainly do not need to be on point at all right now. So now this thing fucking unloads its little shit, and you're kind of in a sketch position, and you have 0 fuel. You still have your 2 abilities, however, so you should be able to duck out of a window or a door and escape into Pharah heaven. But you jet into the skybox. So yeah, you have a full diva on the point. You don't need to be contesting right now. So if I were you, I would have tried to just like get out of there. Like go through a window somewhere and just like you could be doing the same damage that you provide on the point. You could be doing the same thing just like in a safer and more threatening position. And you wouldn't get pulled into a one of those mines. Alright. So we still maintain point. They just took our supports out. However, so you should be thinking here, I can definitely help stall this out, but I'm not needed right now. Right? So you should be like hovering in an area so you can like get in here or then through that window if you need to contest, but you should just be trying to unload damage from the outside. So like up into here is great. Nice kill. That's a big kill. Yeah, I take that back. I don't know if you could have provided that same damage. Nice. That's pretty lucky that that placement of the blizz was where it was. Yeah, I don't know. Like that whole time that you're in the point, it's like I feel like you could be providing a lot more. Maybe not a lot more because you're doing a lot, but I think you could provide the same like damage output. However, you're more threatening to them and force their focus to be like on two planes. Um, so like you're just kind of fighting like very much. So like this freeze frame is really good because we have their Zen and their Roadhog caught in a crossfire, which is what you're always trying to set up. But you should be trying to like dip out of this doorway, and you can provide the exact same crossfire, but yourself like also shooting at this fucker who's looking directly at you right now. So like you're just spending too much time on point, and you have your ult, but like that's another reason to like, you know, dip out for a second. Like we have enough sustain here. Um, Diva's getting her mech back. We got a full topped off fucking Brig just swinging. I'm just shooting. We got homie Reaper behind me. So like you should be out the back just dumping rockets into the point. It's kind of like attacking Horizon. Um, like you can do so much damage to the team defending the point from, you know, all angles on that map, right? So same thing, like you should be outside of this map unless you absolutely have to contest point for some reason.
Who's ready to take some punishment? Justice reigns from above.
Again, hypercritical. Let's see. You have your boob.
Justice reigns from above.
I feel like you could have done this a little bit. I mean, you like kill the hog, which is great, but like he has to go to point, right? Clock's ticking down. He absolutely has to go to point. You have just gotten your boop just came online before you pressed Q. Yeah, 2 seconds before your boop. Boop just came online. So what's... Damn it. What's to say you don't just use that boop, knowing that the hog has to go into boop ability? So I would either like go through this window here. So like use your flight ability just to like cut down angles, but like fly up. You should always just be like hanging out like above this set of walls when you have the point, if you're on this side, because then you can go back. Like the hog has a hook, so you gotta respect that. So right now you're looking at a hog, so that's kind of sketch. However, this hog has to come at you. So like you could either go back onto the point, go up, and like force him to deal with you before going to the point, which he won't have time to do both. But you could also just like float out of his range, like backwards from where you're at a little bit, and as soon as he comes around this wall, you can just hit that concussion against this little like backboard. Like just know the situation. You just helped fend off an attack. Our supports are now pushing in because there's like no time left, and they have to come through that choke. They've used an immortality because they have to get through this choke. This hog has to just beeline it to make it in time. So you could just kind of float here, and just as soon as he steps into the area, just concussion behind. You get a kill, which is titties coming the way they're coming. So like you could have even just like set that up a little bit safer, because that hog, if he wasn't like an idiot, probably should have been able to hook you just by doing what you did. So I think like a safer area, start with a boop, and then that hog's dead, and then you can get yourself like a play of the game. Super nitpicky. It's the name of the game. Alright, so you're kind of debating staying the matchy match with your mama here, or swapping to a character that's a bit better for the map.
You won't be disappointed.
And I guess Pharah's not terrible on this map. You just have to play her extremely, like, you have to own that, like, outside. But yeah, you go Hanzo. Let's see.
One. Round two. Capture the objective.
Okay, yeah, you're taking a good flank route, so this is good. This is like what I'd like to see you do more. Is so like, you know, we're rolling left. We've already lost 2 people though, so I'd just kind of like be careful here. So you take high ground superiority, so that's great. So we're down 2. They're rolling in. You get a huge pick. All right. So at this moment now, we are down 3. No, sorry. We were down 2. One of them's already back, and we don't have any supports. No, that's wrong. Who died? Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, Reaper and Roadhog are coming back. They're the ones who died. And we just lost our Brigida, so we're down 1 healer. You just evened up the healing down. So I think we're like almost. Yeah, I think we're no, it's even. I'm dumb. Don't listen to me. I'm too high. But now listen to me. All right. So what you see right here, after you get that pick, I think I would, if I were you, I would give up your high ground, because this Hanzo is shooting directly at you now, and you don't have any cover up here from that. So you see, you just took away one of their supports, and you see their tanks continue to push forward. So they're trying to carve out space so that they can cap. So if you just stepped down and used this cover, what's to say you don't just storm arrow the fuck out of these 2 tanks? They're going to have to turn and deal with you, at which case they are turning themselves to all of us. So I would just drop down here, step down, because this Hanzo's just shooting at you currently. So look, I mean, look what's in front of you. You have 2 beautiful beefy targets. I would just press E and just dump them all into those. Try to avoid the Zarya bubbles, but I mean, even if you burst those down fast, like if you killed the Zarya, that's fine. But yeah, their Ana looks like she's trying to push up into, so like if you jump down here, I think you would force that Ana to come up even further and she'd be fucked. But you would save the LOS that the other Hanzo has on you, and you would just be able to do a fuck ton of damage. And remember, you can climb walls, so you can just get right back into this position when it becomes safe again, but right now it's not safe. So I would just, like, you know, this is like kind of what I'm noticing that you don't do so much of, that you could get like a lot better at if you just became better at like these types of rotations, is like just be really good about just taking like soft flanks, like just float, like especially when you're playing characters with good mobility. Like you should just be swinging yourself around fights and setting up those crossfires. Like you did a really good rollout on this one, and because of that, we actually still have like a chance after losing 2, after going down 2 instantly. You have a very threatening position right now, so their DPS have to try to deal with you. They're down a healer because of you, and their tanks are still pushing up. So if I were you, I would just kind of go back with your team and collapse on these tanks. And by doing so, I mean, it's a completely safe flank on these tanks. So just drop down, step forward, just E into them. So you retreat back, you get a mega. So you're kind of taking a 1v1 here, and you see you have the tank in front of you who's capping, so this is wonderful. Their tank's pushed up too far, and their Ana's having to deal with it. So you get really good insight here, so you get that sonar. So right now, you have the sonar. Move. he knows where you are right now. So he doesn't need a sonar. He knows you're on high ground. So you know where he is, and you have sonar. So you know he can't see you. Move, rotate, and close your. If you can't kill him with your movement, if you're not gonna do like an attacking, like rotation, then I would say like go around a bit more and like get behind them. But you should also just be able to be really aggro right here because you have a huge advantage on him. But again, in a perfect world, you would have been pushing in and closing the door, if you will, on their two tanks who overextended. So like you should just always try to be like a trap door, like hang out, like just tease a little flank. As soon as the team like makes a move and exposes themselves to you, then you can swing and just close the trap door. Um, but so you didn't close the door on those two tanks, so now you're taking a one-on-one and you sonar'd. So you have a sonar in the one-on-one, so you have advantage here. So I would just try to use that. Um, so yeah, you got a shot in, wasn't a crit, so he's still alive. Zarya used her Michael Bublé's. You got a health pack, so you're still in the same exact spot though. So like right, if you would have either collapsed, you'd probably be up here right now with clarity. Would probably have been your rotation, or you would have moved back over here, or you would have came right back to where you are currently, but you would have killed both their tanks in the process. Reinhardt's sleeping right now, and I think I'm teabagging him. It looks like. Wait, wait, is this that game? Oh my God, yes. Okay, that's pretty good. Um, okay. Okay, I'll go back to you. Sorry, that's funny. Where you at? Don't make me press the button. Okay, so let's see. You do come back finally. So you close the trapdoor, but like again, look at all this. Like we could have already won this fight. So taking. So Zarya's bubbled. So stop shooting. Yeah, nice. Boom. So you, I think I probably communicated to you that I slept the Reinhardt, because like I'm over in the corner just fucking literally teabagging on him, and our Brig is like legit just staring, watching the Rein sleep. So I think you come back now, but remember you could have already like fucked them up and been like standing over Ryan with me. or again, if you didn't decide to close that trap door the first time, you should have rotated around on that Hanzo, because your sonar would have still been up by the time you like came around behind him, and you could have just like absolutely shit on him with a crit shot and then had access to their Ana while being in a crossfire with your team. But now the call is made, there's a sleeping Reinhardt in our back line, so you collapse on it. You drew out Zarya's bubble, waited, nice, so she's getting dinked by, or donked by you. So nice, Sue. Let's see. So now you are with your team. Your Reaper is low. He's probably gonna get a health pack in front of you though. Let's see. So Reaper's pushing your back line, so you do a good job of hanging out here, and just your presence is making that Reaper have to reevaluate his life choices. So Reaper turns around and goes back into the meat of the lineup for some health steal here, which is a good move by him. So the fight is all in front of you. This is great. However, you could always be trying to improve your angles for free. So like you could get back up onto your high ground that you're at, or you could walk up and climb up on this dick, or you could chill and just rotate a little bit like left. So like your sight line, you should just be working more on like closing down the sight lines that you're not using. So like right here, the only thing you can shoot is the Reaper in front of you. But you were leaving such a fat sight line. Like if there was somebody who could actually like if their Hanzo wasn't shit, like you have a huge opening right now to a lot of things. So I would just try to like step, either hang back and use this barrier, move up, use this, or what I would do is just chase this Reaper, but like respect him, you know, just move up, his back is facing you, so you should either edge up to this wall, and you can like climb that, have high ground, blah 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 blah. You also open up that access to sight lines, causing a crossfire, or you could, you know, go that way, but let's see what happens. So, nice, you identify the Reaper. So, he's fucked. So you should be extremely aggressive with that. You're kind of playing like a McCree right now. That's fine because we're holding the point. But like, you don't have to be hanging out on point so much. Like you should just be like standing on top of this dick or like up, you know, where our Zarya just died. Like that Reaper should have died.
See that which is unseen.
Let's see. Yeah, they're just gonna. So again, their Hanzo's dead now. So right here, like you should be just presenting yourself in a more threatening position will also benefit you because it's a more threatening position. But like, you can be doing the same Storm Arrow, but over here, where like you can be like, hey, I'm behind you now, or hey, I just snuck around and I'm both on high ground and behind you now. But you could be doing that exact same shield break just from like moving, like using this dick before they walk in front of it as a shield and using it to rotate yourself into better positioning. That's just the one thing I've noticed is both with your Pharah and the Hanzo, just like trying to maintain the flow of like just teetering in that like threatening position where you could just instantly like close the door and be in a crossfire flank. So your rotation left here, you get grabbed. Luckily you have an Ana who kind of healed you up a little bit. You get purpled though. I believe you get bubbled and then healed. Alright. Looks like you have a god tier Ana. Must be nice. Nice, I like that. It's good sonar. So like right now, again, just same exact story. Like you could literally have set yourself up so that like at the start, like as soon as you sonard, you should be using that knowledge to put yourself in more threatening position. Like you don't have to be the like back line. Like you see that your whole team is holding the choke, you know this map, they either have to go high through the hard choke, well that's it. But you could like put yourself over here, get some angle, like at least get scouting, get information, but you're just kind of like standing back here on the stick, which is like a good position for when they are like actually pushing through choke. But like you could have been in somewhere where like they have to deal with you like before they deal with anything else. So let's see, I think you had enough time. Cause you kind of hang out up here for a while. So like fights ours, like put yourself in the, okay, you have information now, so there's 2 of them, so they can't push. Now there's 3 of them. So like you know they're setting up to come through here, they just gotta pick. So now you could have been like falling back, but you should have been like up or out there shooting or but yeah, then at this point like hang out. I mean if they're just gonna let you free fire, that's fucking perfectly fine. Well,
See through the dragon's eyes.
back up, but again if you were like, so you just hit a sonar, move with that knowledge you have. Like you could literally just be putting arrows into the side of that Omnic's face and also have no line of sight on you. You'd be taking a one-on-one with a Zen. But yeah, we're gonna get it up to 99. Perfect. You have your
I am
arrow.
not deterred.
See what you do with it. Okay, so the blind shot, like the zoning is good. However, like this is to initiate a fight. So like there's no like they're only at 10%. There's no way that you need to do that like immediately. So like what you should have done is used one of your cooldowns here, your sonar, and done a little bit of scouting. So just like you could have peeked where you are currently and like shot a sonar, like peek. I would even try to peek even more and like hit the dick or like hit this back wall or like, you know, get a sonar on one. So that gives you knowledge of if anybody's on this whole side. And then you could do the same great zoning dragon, but like actually split the team like knowingly. So like you send it down the middle, so you do a good zone job of splitting the point. However, like it would be amazing if you also had a sonar and like you knew what you were doing and how you were gonna split it, because then you would know. Okay, I got their supports right here. Boom! I just took out one of their supports. Boom! I just fucking clipped out, dinked a Reaper. Oh shit! I'm popping off. But see, put yourself. You could be doing the same thing on the stairs, rotate it a bit more, and then their Ana literally has to be looking to heal her team, and have to like fucking do a 180 to even like see the Hanzo shooting at them. So like you are just kind of bringing it up in the back line of this fight a little bit too much, and like you just popped off, but so like your response to that popping off shouldn't be like I'm gonna go fucking hardcore aggro, but like just put yourself, like, be a bit more at it. That's dope. A nice jump shot. I'm eating my words. But, okay, I didn't think you were gonna go straight at the Ana, because that's exactly what I wanted you to do. So you got the 2 picks. I thought you were just gonna hang back here and shoot. Oof. 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 Let's see that fucking Michael Jordan jump shot one more time. Ooh! Nice. Good flick. Well, I'm just gonna replay that last fight sequence for you because that was pretty sweet. So I worked to your advantage. I'm just being really nitpicky and choosy, saying like if you knew where they were, you probably could have done even more. But you just killed. Look at that. Ooh, nasty. Great flick. Nice.
Victory.